Hey there, CJ students. I'm going to help you out with homework 7.5, area and circumference, in preparation for our celebration of Pi Day tomorrow. So we want to be able to really be able to work with this area formula and circumference formula, understand how they relate to radius and diameter of circles. So for every problem, it should be kind of important for you to recognize what the radius is and what the diameter is. So if I were you, I'd go to every single problem and put this r equals and d equals, because you are going to need to know what those values are when trying to solve. So for number one, for this whole section, it says find the area of each. You may leave the pi in your answer, so you don't have to multiply by 3.14. So luckily, they've given us a radius of 11. Our diameter is 22. The area formula is area is equal to pi times r squared. So we need our radius. So in this case, I need the radius. Right? So that's why I'll go ahead and plug in a is equal to pi times 11 squared. A is equal to not 22, but 121 pi, because that's 11 times 11. So A is your answer. And number 3, your radius is 10. Your diameter is therefore 20, because you can imagine another 10 over here, right? For the area, we need area is equal to pi r squared. So this is our radius, so we'll be using 10 again. So area is equal to pi times 10 squared. And so in this case, area is equal to 100 pi miles squared. And number 5, we have a radius of, we don't know, we have a diameter of 20, so that means if I split this in half, I'll have 10 here and 10 here, so that means a radius of 10. So again, area is equal to pi r squared, so we need our radius of 10. So area is equal to pi times, again, 10 squared, so this is essentially the same problem as number 3. We just gave you a diameter this time instead, so area is equal to 100 pi inches squared. For number 7, again, I give you a diameter. So your diameter is 6, so that means this half right here and this half right here have to be 3 and 3. So that's a radius of 3. So area is equal to pi r squared. So we want to use our radius of 3. So area is equal to pi times 3 squared. And in this case, that's area is equal to 9 pi. So 9 pi meters squared. So that's just basic. I gave you a circle, find me the area, whether it's a radius or diameter. For the next section, look carefully at the directions. It says, given the area, find the radius of each circle. So we're going to need to use the square root here. Right? So you write down area is equal to pi r squared. Square root, my fault. Your area is 100 pi. So 100 pi yards is equal to pi r squared. 100 pi, my fault, excuse me. 100 pi. So you start off by dividing both sides by pi. The pi's on both sides cancel off. So I get 100 equals r squared. You now take the square root of both sides. This is not division. Square root is what number times itself, or what number squared, gives me my product. Oops, sorry about that. So what number times itself gives me 100? In that case, your answer is your radius is equal to 10, because 10 times 10 is equal to 100, right? That's how we get this. 10 is our answer. So C, 10 yards. I'll do another one. It's kind of tricky. Your area is 4 pi, so again, you start off with the area formula, pi r squared. Your area is 4 pi, so you plug that in. 4 pi is equal to pi r squared. First step, divide both sides by pi to get rid of it. See you later on both sides. You're left with 4 is equal to r squared. Now take the square root. So what number times itself gives you 4? And that's easy. 2 times 2 gives me 4. So that's why my answer in this case is 2. So 2 is equal to the radius. Okay. Here, this next section, we say find the circumference of each circle. You may leave pi in your answer. Circumference is the distance around the circle. So r is equal to, and d is equal to, in this case we're given a radius of 9, so that means our diameter has to be 18. We'll use the circumference formula, which is c equals pi d, and I'll be using my diameter of 18. So c is equal to pi times 18, or 18 pi. There's your answer. Next one. Radius is equal to 12. That means diameter is equal to 24. Draw a line across, right? So c is equal to pi times d. D in this case is 24. So c is equal to 24, or pi, excuse me, times 24. So your answer is 24 pi feet. Number 17, the radius we don't know, but the diameter we do know. It's 22. The radius in this case, if half of that and half of that add up to 22, it's 11. So c is equal to pi d, and in this case, the diameter is equal to 22. So you're just going to plug that in. C is equal to pi times 22. So 22 pi is your answer. Okay, and lastly on number 19, it's working backwards, right? So if I give you the circumference is 18 pi, say c is equal to pi d. I know my circumference this time, so 18 pi is equal to pi d. I divide both sides by 18, or sorry, by pi, my fault, by pi. The pi's cancel off, and my diameter is equal to 18. So my diameter is equal to 18, but they asked for the radius. Good catch. So my radius, therefore, is half of my diameter, which is 9, right? So if I drew the circle, there's the diameter of 18, right? The radius would be this part right here of 9. Okay, and that's what they wanted. They wanted the radius. So that's why B is your answer. Great, call me if you have questions. Get ready for Pi Day tomorrow. Memorize those digits of pi. Homework pass if you can get more than 20.